If you can't trust the crypto guys, who can you trust? The FTC just announced a settlement with mastermind CEO of Celsius, Alex Mashinsky, where the crypto lender actually agreed to about a $4.7 billion fine.
Offer me money.
$4.7 billion fine and a permanent ban, which is funny because I remember after the whole Celsius collapse, after they shut down withdrawals, they were still accepting deposits. I was fortunate enough to get out of Celsius before the collapse.
Listen, I don't know anything about computers.
And I distinctly remember the CEO, Alex Mashinsky, going on different podcasts, going on different YouTube channels, and basically saying, your Bitcoin is safe with us, your crypto is ultra safe, that we're not going to shut people out of their money. Director of the FTC, Samuel Levine, he said that Celsius actually promoted a new kind of model, a new kind of crypto financial model, which is true. He said Celsius touted a new business model, but engaged in a classic old-fashioned swindle, just like Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX.
Unbelievable.
So apparently it comes out that so many of these crypto guys are scammers, grifters, and thieves. Surprise, surprise. Anyways, so from my personal experience with Celsius, I downloaded the app, and I remember it was so crazy because depending on which state you were in, it had different kind of rules. So at the time, you could deposit with them whatever money and or crypto, let's say Bitcoin, and then you can take out a loan based on what you deposit. For example, 0.5 Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin, you can take out a loan sometimes interest-free, which was obviously too good to be true. Which was just mind-boggling. It was completely nuts. And for whatever reason, those in California were able to get a zero interest loan. It made no sense to me at the time. But now we know why, because it was a giant freaking scam. But let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. Alex Mashinsky, let's just say that he's actually a wholesome guy. He never actually meant to steal anyone's crypto, to hold and pause any kind of withdrawals. What do? Well, they all loaned money to each other, all over leveraged in this giant circle of taking out loans, tax-free loans sometimes, as a means of generating income based on the customer deposits. So anyways, the FTC gloats and goes on to say that because of their actions, because of FTC's actions, Celsius is banned from handling people's money. Cryptos, of course, and executives are being held accountable to the people, making it clear that emerging tech is, like fintech, is that this tech, this financial tech, this new money business model is not above the law. But maybe there's more to the story. So here it is on the official FTC website, the Federal Trade Commission protecting America's consumers. I wish that were true. Well, a little late to the game. So in the FTC's press release says that they reached settlement with crypto platform Celsius, charging the former executives with duping the consumers and then squandering billions in user deposits. Well, classic, right? Then they say the company falsely claimed it had more than enough assets to satisfy customer obligations days before the company filed for bankruptcy. Well, I remember those days. I remember carefully following these guys and listening to them just lie to the camera, lie to everyone who was listening. At the same time, even on different YouTube channels, people were asking questions in super chats. They were literally paying to ask these guys questions and being lied to their face. Really, really sad. Really, really tough. You really don't give a about stealing from your fellow man when you're taking super chats and at the same time lying straight to the cameras. The FTC says in opening accounts with Celsius, consumers were of course required to provide their bank information. They say that Celsius took title and possession, misappropriated these customer funds, totaling over $4 billion. That's kind of a lot of money to steal. So in the classic Ponzi scheme, they use these deposits to pay other customers, these rewards programs. So kind of like a savings account, they would pay you a certain percentage, a very high percentage sometimes, just for keeping your money in their accounts. Makes sense. Then they went on to borrow from other institutions, also providing low interest loans to crypto accounts and using that money to manage other high risk investments that basically lost them ton of money. And we're talking about taking out high-risk loans, billions and billions of dollars taken out in loans. So it is no surprise, obviously, this whole thing. Its own FTC investigation found that they were telling customers, they were trying to lure new customers in to open new accounts and put deposits on the platform. So at the same time they're doing that, this Mashinsky is on video telling the public, consumers, that hey, we're okay, we're safe. We have billions of dollars in liquidity. So while all this is happening, basically trying to prevent customers from withdrawing their money, at the same time luring in new customers. Oh my God. Mashinsky, Leon, Goldstein, executives with Celsius, they were withdrawing massive, massive amounts of money. Well, guess whose money this was? Yeah. And all of their withdrawals was right before they filed for bankruptcy. So I know people who lost some of their life savings with Celsius. And apparently, according to the FTC, some people were putting in their retirement money, which is nuts. College funds. I mean, massive wealth transfer from those who are supposed to trust these so-called financial institutions or emerging technologies, AKA scammers, new tech scammers. So in all of this, the FTC solution is to ban Celsius from operating. Well, who gives now? That makes no sense. Of course, no one now would even bother trying to use their platform. It would make no sense. It's like FTX reopening. Like, who the hell would put in any money / crypto, Bitcoin, whatever, into those accounts? That would be insanity. But you never really know, because there are a lot of crazy people out there. On top of that, a lot of online marketing stuff that really promotes, the dark side, let's say, of crypto. And especially now with all the influencers being hired to promote certain crypto, Tom Brady and Shaquille O'Neal might actually be able to convince quite a bit of people to put money in a certain crypto platform that later turns out to be a giant scam. That's why they're all being sued. The point of that is never underestimate the power of PR, marketing, celebrities. Hey, they're stars for a reason. People just love them. Apparently Mashinsky is also getting sued by the SEC. Well, they're suing everybody nowadays. But the SEC is demanding personally that the former CEO be barred from handling, buying, offering, and even managing any kind of crypto. He's supposed to hand over all of his ill-gotten gains. Yeah, right. I'd like to see that. Of course, Mashinsky was also arrested, pleading not guilty to the whole scammery. Some say that he was actually arrested on a plane trying to dip out of the country. Well, not surprising. Crooks will be crooks, even in the digital age. Hey, should have donated to the right people. So will customers see justice served? Well, we'll see. Hopefully they get their money back, because, more billions and billions lost to more crypto scammers. Seems to be a pattern here. I don't understand why these platforms were not audited before the giant swindle, before the scammery happens. That would make more sense, because it's a lot harder to claw money back. But who knows? The US government has a lot of crypto stuff on their mind lately. You got the SEC going after Binance, Coinbase, Scam Sam, Celsius, and all the other crooks involved. On top of that, the US is holding on to a ton of Bitcoin, which is pretty interesting, which according to Cointelegraph is about 40,000 Bitcoin, which is a lot of moolah, mucho dinero. So they're supposed to liquidate a bunch of Bitcoin, the Silk Road seizure, 4 batches. They're going to dump Bitcoin, roughly 10,000 at a time. If they dump close to 10,000 Bitcoin at a time, that's roughly, in today's dollars, roughly around 300 million. That is so much money that the US Department of Justice is going to be moving in Bitcoin. It's just insane. There's something weird happening with all the agencies coming together and squeezing all this stuff and putting a lot of pressure in this crypto segment. So it's all pretty odd. So it's all very strange, where the Cointelegraph goes on to say that 51 Bitcoin transactions were moved originating from the Department of Justice and spread over 800 plus wallet addresses. That's insane. Something smells very fishy, to say the least. So do all Silk Roads lead to Bitcoin? Or do all roads lead to CBDCs? Well, we shall see. We shall find out in the near future. I think they might have some of my Bitcoin, actually. Yeah, some of that is mine. But the US is kind of using up a lot of money recently. Of course, you got the Ukraine war, inflation up, commodities going up, supply chain stuff, China issues. So maybe the US is just looking to squeeze these different segments so they can get some money out of there. they can get some of that wealth transfer. So instead of going to the scammers, it's going to, you know, the public good or whatnot. Maybe that's it. The budget. To fix the budget, because according to the St. Louis Fed, the Fed Reserve in St. Louis, the federal government has to pay interest on the money they borrowed to fund all these things, right? And these interest payments have now surpassed $900 billion for the first time ever. So the government owes a lot of money. It's in debt like crazy, up the wazoo. Soon it's going to be $1 trillion just in interest payments. Clearly it's never going to be repaid. America. The U.S. Minsky moment could be approaching. But anyways, the point is that they're squeezing the crypto guys that already scammed the customers. They're squeezing those guys to get some of that wealth back. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. You have a different theory? Well, comment below. If you can't trust the crypto guys, the crypto exchanges, who can you trust? Well, in the end, nobody. All right, friends. Well, thanks for watching. Smash like if you haven't. Please do subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.